Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And this morning, I have the pleasure of having Bruce Francis with me from Contracoin to share us why he's so excited about it. Bruce, welcome on the show.
Right. I am excited, Ivan. Absolutely excited. I'm excited about Deposit Mate in its future, and I'm excited about our new product called Deposit Mate.
Yeah, absolutely. We've on the channel when I introduced Contracoin, there's been a lot of questions that have come since, and a lot of people asking, okay, great, you've given us a taste, but now we want more. So that's why I thought, we'll bring you on. But before we get on to Contracoin, which of course we're going to be covering off today, tell us, a little bit about you, your journey, where you've come from, because it's one great story.
Okay. Well, my journey started in the early days when I was very young out of university, and I became involved in the entertainment industry. And from the entertainment industry, I become a very well-known DJ around the country and internationally. And from when that era of my life finished, I decided to get involved in trade, which was the barter industry. And from the barter industry, way back in the 80s and 90s, it was evolving, and I became a major player by going off to the US and studying at Seattle and learning about the trade dollar industry and the barter industry, and came back and became a consultant and was involved with several trade exchanges, including a very famous one called Bartercard. So I was one of the founding people that was involved in the early days, not so much as a director, but as an analyst and an accountant in those days. But anyway, it progressed from there, and I got involved with Bartercard Corporate and a few other exchanges, and we started to do property. And we were selling property using trade dollars, and it took a while for the Australian government and the ATO to get their heads around the actual meaning of a trade dollar. And later on, they were able to clarify that by saying one trade dollar is actually a real dollar and it can be taxed, and we have to pay GST on it. So I did that for about 6 to 8 years and sold many, many hundreds of properties with the trade exchanges. And then I headed off to China. And I went to China and got involved in China in many different businesses, including hospitality and other things. And I was involved with a restaurant and hospitality industry with a very famous gentleman called Jackie Chan, and another famous personality called Andy Lau, a famous Chinese superstar from the film industry. And we did a number of venues in Shanghai. And from there, when that era finished, I went out on my own, did my own hospitality businesses, and started doing trade as well. So I got involved in trade and barter, and I was doing things in Shanghai and cooperating with Taiwan and other countries around the world in corporate barter, things like that. So over the next 12 months, toing and froing and talking to people, professors at the Shanghai University, Beijing University, about blockchain, Contracoin started to evolve. And it took a long time to get the process right, because we thought, well, we've come out of the trade industry. How do we do a similar thing with crypto? And that's what our journey was, to do something with a crypto, not just to have it on an exchange and try to cash it out. Let's make it a vehicle to do something with it, purchase property, high-end goods, aeroplanes, motor yachts, other items of value, rather than just having it there as sitting on the exchange and waiting for it to go up and down so people can cash it out. So we came up with the idea of using it for property, and it was based on the same values that we used when we were doing trade dollars and in the barter industry. So yes, that's where it evolved from. We've taken it now to a much higher level, especially here in Australia, and we've sold we actually sold about $1.9 billion worth of property using trade, and I'm sure this year we will surpass that over the next 2 years in using crypto, our Contracoin crypto. For instance, we have one exclusive project now, it's called Asana, Broadbeach on the Gold Coast. We were given that project exclusively to sell using part of our Contracoin as a deposit in Deposit Mate product. And we sold 97 million to date. As from yesterday, we've sold off the plan in 3 months. And we will sell that building out basically before they even put the bulldozers on the site. So the developer is ecstatic, and he's given us another 3 towers to sell on the Gold Coast.
That's amazing. What do you think,
Absolutely.
from a technology point of view, right, to blockchain and cryptocurrency in general? Because, we see there's over 11,000 coins out there, but you're spot on. Like, most of it is just a token that just sits on an exchange. People do heavy marketing on it, and, and off it goes, either up or down, and then you see them disappear. But what I think is really interesting with Contracoin and in general with the whole scope of what you guys have done. I mean, this is 3.5 years in the making. Am I correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So
This
three and a half
will
years
be
in
our
the
third year.
making. And so what excites you the most about, you're teaching people about blockchain, because a lot of people, the common person doesn't understand yet, but what excites you the most about the role that Contracoin is gonna play in the crypto space?
Okay. I'm excited about the fact that we've won the confidence of all the developers and our deposit mate or our Contracoin holders now. So they see real value in purchasing the coin. They see not only that the coin can be a vehicle for wealth for themselves personally in the cash world, but also to use the coin to get into their first property. For instance, first home buyers now no longer require a deposit. They can come to Contracoin and talk to our representatives here at Contracoin about all the properties we have. We have several websites. We are involved with several real estate agents that are exclusive to us, which we've partnered with. We have an ARC website. We have a Contracoin global website where they can go to, look at the site, pick the property, come to us, purchase their coin, become what we call a VIP member, a minimum $10,000 worth, and straight away they've got their advance. It could be a $100,000 advance, it could be a $200,000 advance, and there's no payments for them for 5 years, and it gets them into the property. That's their deposit. It's paid on the contract, and it settles with of course, their bank. So it's an exciting thing. We've done this here in Australia now for the last 6 months. The deposit and now the deposit mate is about to launch into its second phase, which is a major phase through all the social media, including yourself. And we tested the market. We've become involved with the government, with ASIC approvals. So it's very, very, very well legally scrutinised. So it does work. It's a great product. And the good thing is we are going to go global. And that's another thing I'll announce later. But we are definitely going into Dubai, Canada, and the UK, and then to New Zealand. So it's going to be a wonderful thing to get people on the property ladder, and no money up front and no interest payments. It's going to revolutionise the industry. We like doing disruptive things, as you know, Ivan.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. And the next phase will be to have our own cash loans available at probably less than 1% for our first home buyers.
Yeah, I when I first came to Sydney, got to meet with you, for me, the very first thing that was very crystal clear is that you and the whole team is on a mission when it comes to first home buyers. It
Correct.
was crystal clear to me that the blockchain, the technology, the deposit mate, and it's little subtle things, right? You can tell when somebody's on a mission to do something really, really big, like, there's no paperwork fees. It's super simple. You've worked on, finding lenders and banks that are going to approve this. You've got the projects on board, like, the developers on board with the right morals, with the right structure. So for you, how much does it mean for first home buyers to choose Contracoin rather than going through another method?
Well, it's so frustrating for parents and so frustrating for first home buyers, not only young people, but you have single mums, you have older people, tradesmen. I speak to a lot of tradesmen, Ivan, and they're in their 30s and 40s. They're paying rent, they're running a business, and they just don't have the ability to keep saving.
Yeah.
They're paying rent, they're paying their GST, they're paying their superannuation, but it's just that little leg up that they need to get onto the property ladder so that they don't keep paying rent all the time. So we want to we're very community minded. You probably see the check behind me. This is a Contracoin check for the Kids for Cancer Foundation.
Yes.
We raise a lot of money for the different charities. We're very community minded. I'm on a mission to see every young person no longer have to go to mum and dad and say, Mum, I need $90,000 to put into this property. Mum, I've saved some money, but look, I've just found out I can get my deposit from Deposit Mate, Contracoin, and look, I'm on my way. Bye-bye. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah, and the hardest thing is to get
yeah.
in, right? I mean, to get into the market. You know, as you know, young person myself, I meet people every single day. I meet people all the time, and once you're in the door, once you're in the game, then it's a lot easier. You know, you can remortgage, you can refinance, so it goes up in value. But you got to get in, and that's the biggest challenge that obviously we young people face today. You know, houses are no longer $50,000. You know, even there was 7% rates back then, but you know, they were $50,000 compared to now. But you touched on upcoming projects, you touched on other countries coming on board, and for our listeners as well, and for people that understand market cap as well. I mean, the market cap is really small of this particular project. So you're talking about other countries coming on board, Australia, you know, more cities in Australia coming on board. You know, I've got a soft spot for Adelaide, so you know, I'm looking forward.
Yes.
You know, I'm looking forward for Adelaide being on the map. So what are your thoughts about you know, what does the next 6 months look like?
Okay, I'm excited about the next 6 months. I'm pretty certain that within the next 6 months we'll be on Binance or one of the other major exchanges.
Okay, all right, that's big. All right, you're dropping some bombs now. Okay, that's big.
So we've been approached, and we're just about in our phases to go through the steps to get to that stage. So yes, we will be in the next 6 months somewhere on one of those major exchanges, and we would love to be on Binance, as I've already chatted to you a little bit about that, and got your thoughts on what you think about that going there. So we're excited. We're absolutely. In fact, it's like a bullet train. We're just in first gear, then second gear, then we've got to pull it back a little bit, because a lot of cryptos, and I won't mention, but there's a few other organisations that have gone too quickly, too fast, and haven't looked after their housekeeping properly. We're creeping along, but at a steady pace. So we're on a marathon, and we're nearly 25% into the marathon.
Okay.
But I believe that it's getting exciting now, because we're well on the way and ahead of. There's no competition in this field. We're leading. We're leaders. We're innovative. We're disruptors, and we're doing good for the community. My ambition is to have excellence in my team, and my other ambition is to leave a legacy, and my legacy and Barry's legacy will be to see every person have a chance, first home buyer or even investors, to have another way to purchase property. But our passion is on our heart is to see first home buyers get themselves into a property, whether young, old, or whatever. But first time, get into a property, don't pay rent, secure yourself, feel good about what you're doing every week when you go to work, and feel good about in yourself that you're providing a home for your family or yourself. No?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And, you know, obviously from my end, from the channel's end, you know, for me, I understood straight away, you know, coming to Sydney and meeting the team, and, you know, and the fact that it's, you know, like the support is local. You know, you got real people. You can pick up the phone and, you know, chat to, you know, agents which are available to answer questions on the properties available. You got yourself, you got Barry, and there's a growing team as well. Obviously, we're not going to share everything today on the show of what's coming up next, but very, very exciting. Really appreciate your busy schedule to come on the weekend and to give me some time to share, because the fact that there are 11,000 coins out there in the marketplace, people get scared. They're like, oh god, a new coin, what is this, what's happening? But for them to hear from you that it's 3.5 years in the making, and all these exciting things that are coming up, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
We're on a mission.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Bruce.
All right, cheers.
Much appreciated.
You too, Ivan. All the best to you. Bye-bye.